Oh.
But I appreciate y'all being here. It looks like a big crowd. And we will start the meeting. It's a pleasure to have Pastor Mike.
It's a pleasure to have Mike back with us to give our prayer for the evening and also the pledge. But how is the girls? I know you got 3 girls, one boy, and a wife. Do y'all feel like a majority in a sorority sometimes?
Yeah, I'm in the minority most of the time.
Yeah. Okay.
I have 3 girls, my wife and two daughters, and 2 grandsons and 2 granddaughters. So thank you very much for asking.
And your boy must be in travel ball, is he?
No, I don't have anybody playing travel ball. I have basketball players, and my wife coaches.
Is it travel basketball?
Sir?
Because y'all play in Thomaston and
Right. Last night, my daughter is leading. She's a doctor in Thomaston, and she is leading a special needs program there in Thomaston, and my grandsons play in. And we were down there watching basketball at 8 o'clock last night, and I kept telling my wife, "I've got to get home. I've got to get home."
That's a long way
if y'all will just feed me, we'll leave. So they finally fed me, and I got back about 11 o'clock last night. So
well, I know you're praying for us, but I think we need to do a lot of praying for you too. You
Thank
know
you,
what I mean?
sir.
So if y'all will stand, we'll have prayer and a pledge.
I want to say before I lead us in prayer, thank you again for the opportunity. Last 2 weeks ago when I was here, I came in my dungarees because you said I was gardening. Actually, I've been delivering bounce houses to most of the county schools. So thank you for indulging me in that untidy situation. And thank you for the opportunity to be back here today. Let's join together in prayer. Almighty God, we thank you that your hand is with us, especially when we can't see it or necessarily feel it. We pray now, Father, that your hand, your guidance, your wisdom, and your strength would be with the leaders of this community, those that are elected, and those who choose not to be noticed necessarily, but to serve the people, both young and old, in this community. May you bless all these efforts, and may they all lead to glory and encouragement for the lives of those that are here, and glory for the name of Jesus Christ. For it's in his name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join with me in saying the pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you again. Just a reminder that the minutes are available for your review from March the 11th, 2025, the work session, and also from March the 11th, 25 from the board meeting the board meeting minutes, so be sure that you review those. Announcements from Team Paulding. The highlights from the Alcohol Drug Awareness Day, the ADAD, at Scoggins Middle School. So if y'all can roll that, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, we're here today for the Alcohol, Drug, and Awareness Program. It's a program that we put on with our middle schools and elementary schools to help bring awareness for alcohol and drugs so kids, hopefully, down the road, make those better choices in life. I think this is that program that, you know, kids get to see the real life, what happens when you make bad choices. Getting to hear from Linda, the nurse, that talks about, look, this is what happened when kids come into my ER with made these choices. Getting to hear Chris and Eric's story about, you know, this is what happens. Listen, this is our journey. Don't make the same journey we did.
I've been a part of ADAD since its inception here in Paulding County and been to nearly every one of them. And so since becoming the sheriff, we're committed to continuing to work with the county, the Board of Commissioners, Superior Court, to ensure that this program keeps going, because we feel like it's very important to educate our children on the dangers of drugs and alcohol.
It's letting the public safety get in front of the kids to be able to talk to them and let them know that we're approachable and that they don't need to hide from us, and that we're personable enough that they can actually come and talk to us. And if there's a problem, that we can help alleviate some of that stress from them.
Just that opportunity for more conversations, it opens a door later on.
Wonderful, thank you. It's exciting to see what our county does in that arena all over. The Board of Commissioners would like to present the Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month proclamation to Ivy Calps. She's the Executive Director for Paulding County Child Advocacy Center, and I know Sandy has been very active in that. A lot of our commissioners are, so I'm going to ask Sandy to read that for us, please.
Whereas children are the embodiment of innocence and hope for the future, every child deserves to grow up in a safe, nurturing environment, free from harm and fear. Sadly, child abuse is a reality, a problem we must relentlessly combat through awareness and action. Whereas every responsible person will agree that even one abused child is too many and that protecting our children is one of our highest priorities. It is vital that we all do our part to ensure that our youth are safe and given the opportunity to have happy childhoods. Whereas there are no excuses for child abuse or neglect, but there are many consequences, some which may last a lifetime. Therefore, it is critical that children's advocacy groups, communication organizations, government resources, and others come together to form a network of support that can reach out to those in need. When abused or neglect does occur, individual citizens have a duty to report it to the appropriate authorities. Whereas this month we ask the citizens of Paulding County to join with the Paulding Child Advocacy Center to fight child abuse. By raising awareness of this issue and standing up for the safety of our children, we can help prevent child abuse and allow our young ones to look forward to bright futures. I think I'm going to cry. Wherefore be it resolved that Timothy B. Estes, Chairman of the Paulding County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month in Paulding County, and encourage the citizens to show that they care by committing themselves to fighting child abuse and neglect.
Awesome. I'm gonna have her come up here. We have that for you. Thank you so much. Good deal. Y'all give her, do what? Yes, you have to.
Thank
Yeah,
you all.
I'm gonna get you to speak. Go ahead, Ivy.
Thank y'all, Commissioners, for acknowledging April as Child Abuse Awareness Month. It's been a calling of mine. It's been a love of mine for over almost 28, 29 years in my professional capacity. So it's dear to my heart. And thank y'all for allowing me to speak. I do want to give a couple of shout outs real quick. We do have community partners in here that we work closely with, DFACS, and we have worked with doing some debriefing with the fire and EMS, so we are grateful for them. Want to say thank you to Miss Peggy and Boyd for helping volunteer tying bows. You have tied them, haven't you? He will tie them. No, I'm just kidding. I know, Miss Peggy. And I do have a board member here, Lisa Gibson. Thank y'all for the support for that. Do want to just kind of run over real quick. I've given you each folders. I'm not going to read all of that, of course. That is for you in your packet. But do want to go over our stats for Paulding County for 2024. We had 236 forensic interviews, which is new children that are coming through the doors. 95% of that is Paulding County kids. Last year was, 2 years ago was 255. So since COVID, we seem to be in the 200s instead of in the low to mid 100s. So it's just, and you'll see that trend all across the state. Trauma-focused therapy, we've only had 11 last year. We had federal cuts, and we had to outsource our therapy program because we couldn't staff the clinical program that I had built up since 18. Volunteers is 1,191, and then the number of services in 2024 is 39,655, and that's with 3 full-time staff and 2 interns. So that's a lot of services that we are keeping track of for our funders. If anybody is in this room is interested and want to come take a tour, please call us, and I love to show off our little haven, our little house, and we're very proud of it. Speaking of April with child abuse prevention awareness, not only do we take this an opportunity to raise some money, but also outreach. I'm really big on education and people knowing. So we have had blue ribbons. I brought this from Dothan, Alabama. We've done this. It's Pink Paulding Blue. I'd like to see a blue bow on your home, your mailbox, or your business if you want to. A donation of $10. And I do have I'll leave a flyer in the back. There's some flyers in your packets as well. And that just helps us for outreach because it's not baby blue. And people are like, royal blue, what is that? Well, that's a good opportunity to share. And that's what I'm all about, is reaching one person at a time to be able to educate them about what's going on in our community and how we can help each other. It's a little donation along the way. Another thing that we are doing is we're running this 20 for 20 till June of this year. So $20,000 for 20 years. So we started it last year, so we're going to run it till June. And that's another easy way to just give. 2 people can't go eat at Chick-fil-A now for $20. So if you do that often, then just don't do it one day and give us your $20. And another thing is our big fundraiser that we are coming up with, and we have partnered with Cops for Kids as well as Parks and Recs, a big bingo fundraiser. We're going to have it at the Cultural Arts Parks and Rec Center, and we are looking forward to that. That'll be June 20th, and lots of prizes, and Cops Are Kids is going to be doing the concessions. So we're very pleased that we have partners that are willing to work with us and to be able to also receive funding as well through our fundraiser. Our 236 kids that we came in and talked to, some of those were actually over at the Receiving Hope Center, and that is for CSEC, which is Commercialized Sexually Exploited Children. And I go over and do those types of interviews for the kiddos that have been found, and we have placed them in that 90-day program right here in Paulding County. So some of those, I feel like some of those should be about 10 in one interview, because they can run literally 5 and 6, 7, 8 hours long, just depending on what they have experienced. So, but I'm just thankful that we're here. I'm sad that we have child abuse. I won't ever work myself out of a job, but I am thankful that we do have child advocacy centers, because it's a safe, neutral place for kids to come and talk about what they may have been happened to them or what they have witnessed. We're doing a lot of witness survivor of violent crimes now, and those are just as important, because it's collateral for evidence. It's corroborating for the police investigation. But not only that, once they come through our door, it opens up a whole lot of free services for the child to be able to begin their healing of whatever it is that they experienced. Thank y'all for allowing me to speak.
It's a pleasure, and thank you for everything you're doing for the county. Appreciate it. Also, the Board of Commissioners would like to present the Public Safety Appreciation Award to Lieutenant Brad Hogan with the there's a Paulding County Fire Department, Chief King. Nope, you're not Chief King.
Substitute right at the end.
That's right, Deputy Chief Newsom. Didn't know
Lieutenant
my,
Hogan, if you'll come up front for me,
sorry.
please. While Lieutenant Hogan's coming up front, I want to thank the board for always recognizing public safety, and not only public safety, but all of your employees. We don't do it for recognition, but it is appreciated when we are recognized for going over and above the normal duties. If you would just. So for this Public Safety Appreciation Award, it's going to be awarded to Lieutenant Brad Hogan. And at this time, we've got a short video to show you a little highlight of Lieutenant Hogan's last 16 weeks, and I'll describe a little bit more about that in just a minute.
One, two, three. One. 1, 2, 3. 2. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. 5. 1, 2, 3. 6. 1, 2, 3. 7. 1, 2, 3. 8. 1.
So Lieutenant Hogan come to us in 2016. He has a law enforcement and military background. 2018, as fast as possible, he was promoted to FAO, which is a fire apparatus operator. And 2024, he was promoted to lieutenant. I can't think of anything in the fire department that Lieutenant Hogan and his family hadn't volunteered for at some point. Anytime we do something, anytime something's going on, he's there. If it's a family event, his family's there. And we all know in the fire service and public safety how important family is. We kind of kept this a surprise today, or his wife and daughter would be here, I'm sure. About 8 or 10 months ago, Lieutenant Hogan, right after being promoted to lieutenant, he come to us and he asked us, he said, I'd like to be involved in recruit school. Now, he's a 8-year plus shift guy, working 10 days a month. 24 hours a day, and to do that, there's some logistical things we had to go through, but the biggest thing was for him to come to fire training and help with recruit school, he had to go from 10 days a month to 5 days a week. And there's not many people in the fire service that want to go from 10 shifts a month to 5 days a week. And he wanted to do this to help with the recruits. Since he's been over there, the background with the military and the police has been incredible with our new recruits. I mean, they need a little bit of militaristic discipline and stuff when they're over there, and it's worked out perfect. This was supposed to be an 8-week assignment. After 8 weeks, it was going so good, we asked him if he would stay the full 16 weeks for fire school, and he agreed. We had a 30-year-plus lieutenant retire a couple of weeks ago who was in training. We asked him again, would you stay a little bit longer? And he agreed. And the training staff has had nothing but high praise for Lieutenant Hogan. I mean, his participation over there and just the natural involvement with the guys and bringing them up has been incredible. So that's the biggest reason he's here right now. But like I said, his whole career has been incredible. Lieutenant Hogan embodies everything Paulding Fire wants in our personnel: his hard work ethic, dedication, and willingness to do whatever is needed to make him an asset to our department, our county, and the citizens and visitors of Paulding County are what we're looking for. His division chief, when we were yesterday afternoon, his direct quote is, "There aren't enough words for me to describe how much Lieutenant Hogan has helped at fire training in the last few months." So that's why he's receiving the Public Safety Appreciation Award.
It's hard to hide between these big guys, ain't it?
I know. I'm not tired enough.
Boy, it's hard to take a picture with such big, healthy men up here, I'm telling you. Thank you, guys. We don't have any invited guests, but I do want to recognize some people that we actually have in the audience. Miss Doris Devi, I know that. We got Robert Lane, our DA. Good to have you. We have Sheriff Henson back there. I see him in the back. And not elected, but Nate's good to have you from the airport, our new airport director. So thanks for being here. The bid awards that we'll go through next. Discuss action to approve the purchase of one wheel loader, Sani 405K from Central Atlanta Tractor Sales, Inc. in the amount of $207,890. The loader will be purchased using the renewal and extension funds. Are you going to talk about that? Yes.
Yes, sir, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So this is Water Department's request. Excuse me. They have gone out. I'm kind of glad to see us buying this type of equipment because it's been a little hard to attain the staff to operate the equipment. So we have used some contractors for work of this nature, and hopefully we are going to be able to, hopefully this will actually save us money over time. We have a back truck, and then with this, it gives our crew numerous opportunities to be able to make it field work, improve field work without having to have a contractor come in and do it. This piece of equipment was priced through the Sourcewell contract, and when they went to purchase it, they requested 3 different types of equipment, so 3 different sizes, 3 different brands, and they tested each one, and each one of them were off of the Sourcewell contract. This is the mid-size loader. It gives them a higher bucket reach as well as more bucket capacity, and it has more horsepower. And so we are asking that you approve the purchase of the wheel loader through the Sourcewell contract from Central Atlanta Tractor Sales in the amount of $207,890. And if you have any questions, Ray's got more explanation as far as what they're going to use that vehicle for, that equipment for.
Nope, looks like it's good to go. Thank you. Next, we'll discuss the action to authorize the chairman to enter an agreement with Hogan Construction Group Incorporated to construct the new county fleet building. Hogan Construction, Inc. was the low bid. The building will be built at the 25 Industrial Way North at the old jail site. The total for this price for the construction will be $4,430,000. Mr. Fields.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, this will be built on the old jail site, new fleet building. It's 3,000 square foot of office space, 20,500 square feet of shop space. Be a great facility for the building. As you had mentioned, we did put it out for bid. There was 11 contractors bid on this. Hogan was the low bidder, and we did check references. They're a great company, so looking forward to getting this completed. Then we'll have 14 months to get it done.
Good. No question. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
If there was any questions. Consideration for the following consent agenda items. First one would be authority for the chairman to sign documents accepting the criminal justice coordinating the council sub-grant number W-24-8-024 in the amount of $66,667 on behalf of the commissioners in Paulding County Judicial Court. The next was be declare the following items listed in surplus and approve their disposal, their auction, their trade, or even their donation. I'm not going to read them all. You got 6 from the DOT and you have 6 from the Sheriff's Department. Next is to be to approve the revised transfer station calendar. Next would be to approve increasing the transfer station gate rate from $55 a ton to $75 a ton. Effective date will be April the 1st of 2025. Any suggestions from the commissioners or want to move to new business on those items? Nope.
I had a question about the new rate. I know that a lot of research was done to see what other counties were charging and that kind of thing. And several counties have a lower rate for citizens of that county. Is there some reason we decided not to go that way? I don't know who can answer that question.
I can address that.
Okay.
Do you want to address it? No, go ahead.
There we go. Can you hear me now? Actually, our proposal is a different rate for inside residents versus outside. The Paulding County customers would stay at 20 pounds, and the outside would go up to 50. So I think there's a little typo in the way it's written. So we are proposing to have a lower rate for Paulding residents.
Thank you.
And you meant to say $20, not 20 pounds, correct?
Correct.
Are you in England?
Any other questions, comments from the commissioners? New business. First item, discuss action for the Board of Commissioners to approve the change order of $124,241 to the Highway 120 Booster Pump Station Design Modifications Construction. The amount will be funded through the development agreement with Bremen Ventures located in Post 1. Mr. Wood.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This project, which is the Highway 120 Booster Pump Improvements Project, we have had a number of development agreements to work on the Mount Tabor pressure zone. The county guarantees up to 1,130 feet to have the pressure that we need, and we have areas that are above 1130 in this area. So we got a bunch of developers together, and we came up with development agreements. The first agreement was done April 11th, 2023. Development agreement with LGI that put in 9,600 linear feet of 12-inch pipe. Then we had a development agreement August 8th, 2023, approved by the board for Bremen Ventures to pay for this project. The original bid approved by the board was $738,000. When we started working with Cobb Marietta, because it's one of our pump stations that is right on the county line, we ended up having to do an additional set of pipe work, paving, and some additional things to make the tie-in. And so that was an additional $124,241, which was still in the amount that was supposed to be supplied by Bremen Ventures. So we are requesting that the Board of Commissioners approve the change order for $124,241 to this project, which is still being paid for by Bremen Ventures. So it's at no cost to the county. It's being paid for by the developer. I know that was a lot of wording, but I think I needed to explain the whole list of things.
That's a good thing. There's no cost to the county.
Yes, the developer has already put the money forward for it.
Any questions, concerns, comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wooten. Next would be discuss the action to approve the settlement agreement and release in the case of Carnes versus Carney Company Incorporated, wherein Carney Companies has agreed to pay all settlement costs, which is in the amount of $60,000 on behalf of itself in the county regarding the alleged siltration of the pond during the construction of the Richland Creek Reservoir raw water pipeline construction by Garney Construction. Do you want to comment on that?
Yes, sir. Back in 2017, 2018, as a part of the construction of the reservoir, the county hired Garney Construction to construct a raw water pipeline extending from the Etowah River and taking raw water and feeding our reservoir so that we can clean it up and distribute it as drinking water. As a part of that project, this is a very large underground line. Garney Construction agreed that if we encounter any problems that are related to the construction, that Garney would indemnify and hold harmless Paulding County, which basically means they would cover the cost and settlement of any litigation arising from their actions at the pipeline. There was a small pond up in Bartow County that did have some element of siltation problem with it. Garney has entered into a settlement agreement with the pond owners in the amount of $60,000. This is an action simply to approve the settlement. The county itself will be paying zero of that $60,000. That will all be covered by Garney. Glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jason, for getting that done. It was a long road, and hopefully we can see the end of the tunnel now.
Good job. Next is discuss action to authorize the chairman to enter into an intergovernmental contract with Paulding County Airport Authority regarding operations, the maintenance, and funding for the Paulding County Northwest Airport for 1 year. That's the period from July the 1st through June the 30th of 2026. That's July the 1st of 2025 through June the 30th, 2026. The fiscal year of 2026. The airport is located in Post 2.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Paulding County and the Paulding County Airport Authority are co-sponsors of the Paulding County Northwest Atlanta Airport located in Post 2. The county and the Airport Authority have historically entered into intergovernmental contracts under which the Airport Authority agrees to operate and maintain the airport, while the county, in consideration of the authority's doing so, will agree to provide funding for airport operations, maintenance, and any required grant match funding through our general funds. The existing intergovernmental contracts between Paulding County and the Airport Authority expire June 30th of this year. A new intergovernmental contract is needed in place before expiration and has been drafted for your consideration. This draft has 3 slight changes from the original contract. The first change is the new agreement date, which extends for just 1 year, extending from July 1st of 2025 through June 30th of 2026. The county liaison for assistance is now the county manager, or in the event the county manager position is vacant, the DOT director. In the existing agreement, the county director of public services was the liaison. And the third change was the county liaison for lease agreements is now the county manager, or in the event the county manager's position is vacant, the county attorney or the comptroller. In the existing agreement, the county director of public services was the liaison. The intergovernmental contract obligates the county to fund $425,000 towards the operation and maintenance expenses of the airport, which is unchanged from the existing intergovernmental contract, which that covers fiscal year 2024 and fiscal year 2025. We'd request that the chairman and the board discuss action to enter into an extended intergovernmental contract with the Paulding County Airport Authority regarding operations, maintenance, and funding for the Paulding Northwest Atlanta Airport for 1 year, time period from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2026.
Good. Any questions? Thank you. Stay up there. You're next.
Yes, sir.
The next will be discuss the action to authorize the chairman to enter into a supplementary agreement with Kimley Horn for the additional amount of $155,177.58 to finalize engineering design services for the Bobo Road at Macklin Road and Mount Tabor Church Road project. Project is located in Post 1, and funding will be sourced from SPLOST funds.
Yes, sir. On April 10th of 2018, Paulding County Board of Commissioners approved entering into a contract with Kimley Horn, authorizing work in the amount of $341,586.41 for the Bobo Road at Macklin Road and Mount Tabor Church Road project located in Post 1. The project involves constructing 2 single-lane roundabouts along Bobo Road, one at the intersection of Macklin Road and the other at Mount Tabor Church Road. Additional improvements include turn lane enhancements at the stop-controlled intersection of Macklin Road and Mount Tabor Church Road, as well as horizontal and vertical geometric improvements, closed system drainage, and urban shoulders with sidewalks spanning 0.75 miles. These improvements aim to enhance safety, increase capacity, and alleviate congestion at the 2 existing 4-way stop intersections. Due to staffing and funding shortages, the county instructed Kimley Horn to pause work after completing the right-of-way plans in 2019. The county resumed the project in 2024. During an internal quality control review, Kimley Horn identified plan revisions needed, some of which impacted right-of-way and easements on closed parcels of right-of-way. Additional hours and funds are required to finalize the preliminary plans, right-of-way plans, and final plans, including any construction services that may be required for the project to be delivered. To address these changes and to finalize the different phases, additional funding is being requested. The cost for the supplemental agreement request is $155,177.58. The new overall engineering services agreement with Kimley Horn would increase to $496,763.99 to deliver the design project. The project schedule has been updated with a tentative let date of November of 2025, understanding there are still multiple right-of-way parcels that are needed to construct the project. Project funding for the supplemental would be provided by SPLOST.
Any questions or concerns? Okay, next would be discuss action to adopt resolution 2025-07, requesting the Board of Commissioners of Paulding County, Georgia, to approve the insurance of revenue anticipation certificate by the Cobb County Kennestone Hospital Authority, so you'll be, okay, good. Ms.
I'm going to
Paul.
briefly touch it just for a second. This is a normal process when Wellstar goes to expand facilities or refinance through the bond market. They come back to you for a support resolution. And so we have Matt McCabe, and he's going to go into the details or give better explanations than I could give as far as what Wellstar's doing.
Thank you, Matt.
Well, that was a pretty good explanation, actually. So, my name is Matt McCabe. I'm counsel to Wellstar Health System. And as you know, just down the road, Wellstar Paulding Medical Center is an active participant in this community. And way back in 2005, there was an issuance of bonds that this county approved. And over time, as was indicated, they've been refinanced, and they're about to be refinanced once more for debt service savings for the health system, which allows them to continue to expand services. But in order for those revenue anticipation certificates to be issued, there has to be a TEFRA approval that comes from all of the jurisdictions where the facilities being refinanced are located. In 2005, about $1 million was spent here in Paulding County for certain facilities, and believe it or not, this refinancing relates to those facilities as well, and that's the reason why Wellstar is seeking the TEFRA approval from Paulding County. And so the approval is part of what's called a TEFRA process, which is a function of the U.S. tax code called the Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act. As a result of that, there was a public hearing that was held on March the 7th, following publication in the Dallas New Era. No members of the public appeared at that hearing to comment, and that certificate of that hearing appears in the record today. And then the request is for the board to approve the refinancing and issuance of revenue anticipation certificates by Cobb County Kennestone Hospital Authority, with that anticipated closing to occur next month. Importantly, the certificates, the bonds, there'll be no liability to Paulding County. They'll be strictly a liability of Wellstar Health System, Inc. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Matt, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Next, we'll discuss the action to amend the general fund and fire fund budget for fiscal year 2025. So you got any comments on that?
Sorry about that. I have, every year we go through the original budget process, and that's done in August, and we're preparing to do that again this year. Last year, we had some pretty large increases as we had gone through a salary study, and we budgeted for those increases in one line item. And then as they're expensed out, once they were given to the departments, they're expensed through every department. So right now, a lot of the departments and personnel appear to be over budget because it was in that one line item. So what this does is it just disperses it to each department that incurred the expense and gives you a better idea of where they're going to end the budget. So while we're going through the 2026 preparation and 2027 preparation for the budget, we will be able to see where we are. So I have a couple of handouts that were in the back. I hope some got them. This is what your budget looks like. For online, I'll post it as well. But the only thing that changed here is the general fund and the fire. So those are the two operations that have expenses from as a result of this. And so those are the only two lines that have changed from the original budget. We will be back again at the end of the year with other changes because we have other funds that basically some of those funds are held at the constitutional officer level, or they're special revenue, so they're set aside for a specific, collected for a specific purpose. And once we've closed out the year, we'll bring those back again, but it'll be minimal, so it won't be near as much as this one is. The other big thing that I included in this is each year, so in 2024, we had made obligations, issued POs for the previous budget, so on 2024's budget. We closed those out, and then we reopen those into 2025. Last year in 2024, we ended the year with a positive fund balance. So we ended the year by increasing our fund balance. And the reason that we have that increased fund balance is because a lot of the expenses had not been incurred. So there are about $23 million worth of expenses that rolled from last year to this year. Now, a lot of those were in DOT. So a lot of it's asphalt contracts that are awarded at the end of the year, and then they're incurred over the summer months. So that's why they're so large. So what this does is it incorporates all of those as well. And normally I would bring those at the end of when I bring the, later in the year. But since we're doing a budget amendment for the salary adjustments, I've just included these. And this way, you will have a very good idea of where we're ending or what the plan is to end the year for this year, so that we can make preparations going into next year.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Comments? Thank you, Tabitha. Next, we'll discuss the action to authorize the chairman to enter into an agreement with Accordion and Jock Construction to remodel Fire Station 1, which is located at 169 Thomas B. Murphy Drive. The total remodeling cost is $334,149.42. Mr. Fields.
Yes, sir. Thank you. As you had mentioned, this is for Fire Station 1, right there behind Kroger at 61 and 278. The fire station was originally built as a fire admin office, so it wasn't really designed for a fire station. So it's really needed. It's one of the busiest stations that the county has. So it's going to be an updated, lot larger kitchen, lot larger bunk space for the firemen. So it is needed. It's not really laid out for a fire station. It was more of an admin office. So this is with Jock Construction, total of $334,149.42. So it's for a almost complete remodel. The bathrooms were redone past few years, so we're not going to do those, but the rest of the interior, complete redesign.
Any questions?
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Next, we will discuss action to approve the revised intergovernmental agreement transfer tax partial 137.2-1-070.0000. The Helping Hands partial and South Johnson Street parking lot to the City of Dallas for development purposes, assigning the Helping Hands lease to the City of Dallas and the city relocation of Helping Hands to a temporary location for 24 months or 2 years for the constitution of its charitable services to our local community in conjunction with the Dallas Downtown Development Authority. Mr. Phillips.
Commissioners, you approved an intergovernmental agreement with Dallas back in February on this topic. Again, this is all about the Helping Hands building. Helping Hands has is in the process of being relocated to another facility provided by Dallas. And as part of that agreement, the county is going to transfer that parcel to the City of Dallas for its downtown redevelopment projects. The reason it's back on the agenda is because the previous version that was approved had a provision in there that required Dallas to transfer certain water customers that were outside of the Dallas water service area back to the county as part of the IGA. That provision has been removed, and it has been added into item 16, which is the next item on the agenda, the Dallas water contract. So the only revision you'll see is that the removal of this, and it's going to appear in the next item I talk about.
And that's to discuss to approve the water supply contract with the City of Dallas.
All right. The county and the City of Dallas have been in a water contract since, I want to say it's 1978 or 1979. It's a 45-year contract. It expired in April of 2024, so we've been without a contract with Dallas during that time. We have been, various staff and various commissioners have been in discussions with Dallas, I want to say at least probably since November, on and on many meetings, where Dallas is contemplating whether or not they are going to purchase drinking water from the Paulding County Reservoir or whether they might find it from an alternative source. We believe that we've gotten to a point where we've got a contract in principal terms here. It's up for your approval, and I want to go over what those terms are. First off, Dallas would be able to purchase water from the county at a wholesale rate of $4.73 per 1,000 gallons. Dallas would have a monthly cap of 22.5 million gallons. Dallas would agree to return the retail water service customers that are outside of the Dallas water service area back over to the county. This was the provision that was removed from the Helping Hands Agreement and is inserted in this contract. The contract would last for a duration of 30 years, and the one component that we're still trying to iron out is whether or not the Dallas water service area will be fixed for 30 years or alternatively will be subject to negotiation during the regular intervals of service delivery strategy renegotiation. Dallas would like to see that. We're looking at the contract right now. Commissioner Dunn and I were in a meeting this morning for an hour to see what Dallas is desiring in that area. But that seems to be the only area that's subject to negotiation at this point in time. Happy to answer any questions. Just to be clear, the contract regardless stays in place for 30 years. That's a 30-year term. That's consistent with some of the GFA loans that we have on our reservoir.
Why separate the two out from each other?
Dallas has indicated that they would like to, as their city expands and as they have additional needs for providing water customers, they want the flexibility under the statutory process of renegotiating. I think it's, Ann, help me, is it every 10 years? Every 10 years do a renegotiation. It may change, it may not. If we do not come to an agreement during renegotiation, there is a process where we go to arbitration with the Department of Community Affairs with the state of Georgia to hopefully reach a resolution there as opposed to going to court.
But couldn't that all be done within one entity as far as the agreement goes? In other words, isn't it to their advantage to separate the two so the agreement might move forward on one but not on the other?
They would want to, you're talking about the Helping Hands Agreement?
Yes.
This agreement? They would want to do that. I'm going to recommend that neither of these documents, neither of these agreements get executed unless both are executed.
Okay.
In order, any order of that?
Yes, Dallas City Council is set to meet this coming Monday, and I believe they've got the Dallas water contract on that agenda.
Thank you.
Any other questions? There's no public participation on the non-agenda items, so we're going to go into executive session at this time, and we will return back into the BOC room, and we will adjourn from there. Thanks for coming. We need a motion to go into executive session.
Motion to go into executive session for purposes of personnel.
Have a second?
Second. Sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
See you in shortly.
Tim.
And I would like to make a motion myself to add these items to new business. And the first one is to appoint the appointment of the chairman nomination for Tabitha Pollard to be the position of county manager. And number two, to appoint the chairman's nominee, John Grant, to the position of communication director. Any questions? And I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I?
Take a second on that.
Oh, yeah, I got to get a second on that. So do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.